Brian said it's not 6 feet apart. Get your sleeves in front. All right, so a few things before we get started. Oh, who the hell is knocking? Oh, are you kidding me? Just come in. Who are you? Do you know those people? Do you know who these are? If you don't know, these are Steve's kids. Whitney, Tyler, Jake, Taylor.
Good job, guys.
Look who came from Nebraska.
Yay!
Absolutely.
Excellent job.
You guys got a table right there. There's chairs over there if you need it. To talk about puppy dogs and rainbows. Okay? So let's just know right from the beginning, you're going to hear some dirty jokes tonight. They are just jokes. They are just jokes.
Some are true.
Hey, Joe just said some are true. So if I said, I heard Steve has a huge penis, they're just jokes.
Untrue.
Okay?
That's a downright lie.
So we all on the same page? Right? We're all good, right? We're going to have a good time and laugh tonight, right? You guys ready? All right?
Oh my
I
God.
love that. So, you don't usually start a roast with an apology. We usually end it with one, but with that being said, most of you know my son Wyatt. He's here up front tonight. I didn't know he was coming until 2 days ago. With him is also my mother, Sharon. These are where the apologies start. All right, so a little background on my mother. We met in the 60s. Much like today, in today's Zoom meetings, we did not meet face to face. I can't do any more about them. That's all I got for my mom. But anyway, thank you for being here. Don't worry, she's not offended. She knows me. She knows my dad. It's all good. So I do want to apologize in advance for some of the things I'm going to say and the things you might hear. But thank you for being here.
Joe, that's a joking line.
So, Mr. McKay, tonight you are going to take it on the chin. And I know what you're thinking. That's just another Saturday night. Right? But we're talking a different kind of take it on the chin tonight. All right? So sit back, have fun, and enjoy tonight. You worked hard this year. You deserve a great evening. So I hope you enjoy what your friends are preparing for you. So first, we all know the 12 days of Christmas, right? Christmas, right?
Oh my God, this
Well,
is hysterical.
we had a lineup over here. I haven't seen a lineup this bad since this year's officers. And here they are for your listening and viewing pleasure, the 12 months of alcohol.
So, before we kick it off, we just want to say, Steve, you've been a fantastic leader in a very challenging year. We're all so appreciative for your friendship and your leadership. And we're going to try to recap the 12 months of your reign.
Oh my God.
On the 12 days of Elton, our ER gave to me one cowboy calendar. Always wear a mask in here, please. In the 12 months of Elton, my ER gave to me 2 shots of Fireball.
Yeah.
1 cowboy calendar. And always wear a mask in here, please.
5-year trustee. This is a true story.
4 backyard parties. 3 missed paychecks. 2 shots of Fireball. 1 cowboy calendar. And always wear a mask in here. 12 months of health and money are get to me. 7 events canceled. 6 hurricanes blowing.
5-year trustee. This is a true story.
4 backyard parties. 3 missed paychecks. 2 shots of Fireball. 1 cowboy calendar. And always wear a mask in here, please. Delta Marty or get to me. 8 Russian speaking.
Hey, Renee, what does that mean?
5-year
That was
trustee.
funny.
This is a true story.
4 backyard parties. 2 shots of Fireball. 1 cowboy calendar. And always wear a mask in here, please. In the 12 months of Delta Marty or get to me. 9 football pots. 7 events canceled. 6 hurricanes blowing.
And a 5-year trustee.
True story. 4 backyard parties. 3 missed paycheck. 2 shots of Fireball. 1 cowboy calendar. And always wear a mask in here, please. In the 12 months of Delta Marty or get to me. 10 Taco Tuesdays. 8 Russian speaking. 7 events canceled. 6 hurricanes blowing.
5-year trustee.
4 backyard parties. 3 missed paychecks. 2 shots of Fireball. 1 cowboy calendar. And always wear a mask in here, please. In the 12 months of Delta Marty or get to me.
11 out erections.
5-year trustee. This is a true story.
4 backyard parties.
Oh my gosh.
2 shots of Fireball. 1 cowboy calendar. And always wear a mask in here, please. In the 12 months of Delta Marty or get to me. 12 months of COVID.
11 out erections.
8 Russian speaking. 7 events canceled. 6 hurricanes blowing.
5-year trustee.
True story.
4 backyard parties. 3 missed paycheck. 2 shots of Fireball. 1 cowboy calendar.
And
That's amazing.
what's the Russian thing?
There is no Russian thing.
Really? All right. Yes, we might see it later. You're right, man. All right, great job, everyone. Great job. All right, so our first speaker of the night.
I've never done a roast before. I truly don't know how to do a roast. Renee called me and asked me if I would speak, and she goes, just tell a silly story. And so I sat down and thought about it. The top close, Bob? I could do this because they'll hear me anyway. It's not really a thing, but. So, I'm telling you, it's been 2 months since we've had this conversation, and I can't think of a single silly story to tell you guys about Steve. And trust me, I tried. We've been friends for 31 years. And everybody I know, thanks Julie. She clapped. I don't know what you guys are waiting on. 31 years, come on. That actually might be the silliest story. So, I was trying to think of something silly, and the deal is, I've never seen him be silly. I've never seen him be indignant. How many of us have gotten just shit-hammered drunk and acted like an ass? I've never seen it. 31 years. In fact, it's funny. The drunker he gets, like the more serious he gets. He looks like he's concentrating, like he's getting ready to do brain surgery to avoid saying something stupid. I mean, he lands on his feet on every. Look at those 4 kids. They're freaking gorgeous, right? Think about this. The guy fucked up 2 marriages and somehow married somebody this fucking hot. The silliest thing about that is she was in 3rd grade when he was graduating from college. Which, let's be honest, as a dude, you want to high five him. You aren't blaming him for that. I mean, come on, right? See, again, the guy's driving down the street one time. I don't even know this whole story. This is how bad this is. And he stops 30 miles out of his destination, picks up a 6-pack of beer, opens one, gets in his car, and gets pulled over by the cop. We all know he's going to jail, right? Oh no, cop says just dump that out and drive safely. The guy doesn't do stupid shit. I mean, seriously. And look at him. He's damn near 59 years old and he's hot as hell. Seriously, raise your hand if you wouldn't fuck him. He's the hottest guy in the room. All I can tell you. All I can tell you about my friend is we've been together 31 years, and I've never seen him be anything but awesome. To find out that he was your guys' president, exalted ruler for a year, all I can think is how lucky all of you are to have such an amazing man. And you guys had the pleasure of having him, and now for the rest of your life, you get to have him as a past ruler, which is such a cool thing. And hopefully you guys get to know him the way I have. And I wish I could tell a silly story about my friend, but the truth is I just don't know any. So all I want to say is, Steve, congratulations on your year. I love you, brother.
Will you do me a favor? I'm recording
I didn't
this.
have to.
You go out and get 2 more buckets on my tab.
What?
Just,
So you're going to want to look back here every once in a while.
What kind of Miller Lite?
yeah, she should remember Miller Lite.
So
And
Steve
then
was born in
Busch and
Topeka,
Budweiser.
is that right?
She should know. Thank you.
September 27, 1962. From there, he and his family moved to Lawrence, moved several different places. I think finally settled in Lawson, Missouri. Is that right? I heard that growing up, Steve was a huge fan of the Mr. Cotter Show. Right? In fact, he was such a big fan, he did everything he could do in his power to become him. Dude, holy shit.
Anybody realize how much Tyler looks like that?
Hey, that is Ron Jeremy minus the huge penis. Sorry, dude. So, I don't know how many of you believe in the theory of evolution. You know, they say that we all evolved from monkeys. Maybe you believe in it, maybe you don't. But I can damn sure tell you I believe in it, and I have proof. And I'm going to prove it to you tonight, and here's my proof. How in the hell did that become, as Bob said, the going everyone wants to fuck? Jesus criminy, that's theory of evolution right there. Wow. Who is that? Who's the baby? Is that you? Well, half that picture is good. Look, I know being ER comes with its everyday challenges, and this year had that and many more, like the COVID, right? Steve had to decide, the lodge is open, lodge is closed, lodge is open, lodge is closed. Dude, just like your marriages, make a choice and fucking stick to it. Jeez.
Thank you so much.
Talk about making choices. Alright, so you all know
You grab me a
Steve and I
Miller
are great
Lite.
friends. But after this picture surfaced,
Thank you.
I heard rumors that him and I were linked romantically. Dude, that's just freaking crazy. You know, if I want to make a tall, pretty man in high heels, I'm going to call Caitlyn Jenner. So the next picture. Ugh. The infamous calendar.
We made some money off that deal.
He made a lot of money. So I know a lot of people wanted to buy this calendar, so Mike hired True Story. I went out on the internet and I searched for it, and I found it on Amazon. And Amazon also said people who bought this calendar also bought a rope and a stool.
True story.
True story. Look, we all know you're nice looking. We all know doubt you've dated your fair share of women, but knowing you, I have no doubt you've disappointed more women than Sex in the City too.
What a pump.
Look, it's no secret I don't have no hair, but look at that mop on your head. Dude, I can only imagine when you tell your barber to get a shitty haircut like that. Hey, guess what? I fucked your daughter. Oh, that's a funny joke. It's just a joke. Come on, that's funny. Oh, no, my barber's a female. Whatever. Right? So, you know, most people there at Lodge hate you because you're handsome. They hate you because you're in shape. They hate you because you have your lovely wife. Not me. I hate you because you're an asshole. You know, I used to think Steve really got along with his family, and some of them are here tonight. They did reach out to his mom and dad and say, hey, would you like to come here tonight? I think it would be a great thing. And they said, no, we can't make it. We have a family commitment tonight. We have a family commitment tonight. Sorry about that. Really, Steve is very caring and giving. This was clear to me one day when I overheard a conversation between him and Renee. And he was actually trying to talk her into a threesome. I know, not me and him and her. It was a proper threesome, him and Renee and another girl. And just like you, I'm thinking, well, how is that nice and caring? But after he got to the end, he said, Renee, look, I'm just doing it for you. She's like, what in the hell are you talking about? And he said, wouldn't it be nice if after the lovemaking there was someone there for you to talk to? Dude, I can't imagine why you've been married several times. So Steve told me a while back that he wanted to join the Navy and be in the submarine. That's where he wanted to work in his life, in the submarine. You know, coincidentally, the same reason he wanted to work in the submarine is why he has trouble with bowel movements today. Trapped semen.
Oh my God.
Thank you for laughing. They're just jokes. They're just jokes. Mom, I'm sorry. I already apologized. All right. So our next speaker is Mr. Brian Hopp.
Woo!
For those of you who don't know, Brian just became an official captain, right, Brian?
Yes, sir.
He had to take classes, he had to do a whole bunch of navigational studies. I don't even get it. Who knew that was even such a thing? I thought to be a captain, you just had to have one of these dumb fucking hats. Actually, Brian just bought one of the biggest boats in Lake of the Ozarks. Some of you know that. Some of you don't know what's Brian, 50,
Yeah, something.
52 feet, something like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the perfect reason of I have a small dick, I need a big boat. Mr. Brian Hopp.
Hey, I do want to echo what Walker said. This is all about fun and having a good time, so please remember everything I say later. So, you know, when I was asked to do this, I thought, all right, I've never done a roast, kind of like you were saying. I've never done a roast, so I got on the internet, and I thought, well, who's the best roaster, if you will, out there? First person that came to mind is Snoop Dogg. And then I thought, oh wait, we can't smoke. We can't smoke. So I can't do Snoop Dogg. Here's your Colombian Bam Bam. Then I thought, all right, well, who else can I be? Well, have you ever seen the Martha Stewart roast? That chick's nuts, right? And she also hangs out with Snoop. Smoking Columbia Bang Bang. So then I thought, well, then I gotta dress up like a woman. And I thought, well, wait a minute. You already got the whole gig on being a transgender. You saw the picture before, right? So I'm not gonna do either. I'm just gonna be old Cowboy Brian. Or Captain, as you say.
Captain.
When I was asked to do this, I'm thinking, there's got to be people that are way. There's got to be people that are way more qualified to do this than me, right? So I've known Steve a while, but there are people that have known him a lot longer than I have, for damn sure. So that being said, the only speech that I could think of was the one I gave you on your wedding night. Do you remember that speech? You didn't listen to me then, and I'm sure you're not going to listen to me now. But it was a real simple speech, folks. It was pretty simple. I said, I got a hot rod outside the getaway car, I got a bottle of Fireball, and a bottle of whiskey. All you got to do is say the word, and we're out of here. So I figured you better get started. True story, Mike.
True story.
Just leave it off. You're probably going to need it. You're going to stay 6 feet. You know, my story kind of got messed up tonight because I told Walker, I said, send me all your jokes, right? Send me all the stuff you're going to talk about, Steve. He sends me like 6 little things. So a lot of things I'm going to talk about is already been talked about. So I'm going to try to do my best to take you to another level of some of the things that we've talked about already. Y'all, where's that picture of him on the calendar? You got that picture up there. We need to look at it. Yeah. You know where that hat came from? My buddy said, hey man, there's this big event going on at the lodge. And would there be any way I could borrow your cowboy hat? And I'm like, sure, I'll hook you up. And then I look back and I'm like, now he's like the sexiest man alive and alive. But that's not really the story. The story is, it took 2 months for me to get my damn hat. What I hear is that was Renee's fault. Well, that's where I'm going.
Totally.
2 months later, I finally get my hat back and I get the rest of the story. Oh, Renee was playing cowgirls and Indians with my hat.
Totally.
I still ain't seen the hat because it's being sanitized.
True story.
Then I was thinking, hold on, I better take my notes. All right, so again, this kind of got stolen. But you got a really unique way of managing the lodge. We all know Steve, right? And it's been said multiple times about how nice a guy is, how patient this guy is, how easygoing the guy is. So I'm thinking, man, to be an ER, that's not a big deal. He's got it in the bag. And really, what's all in this ER thing anyway? There's not a whole lot to do. I mean, when you think about it, you got to do the 11th hour toast. Who has not heard him slur his way through that? Many times. One time he had to do it at 10 because he couldn't make it to 11. Not a lot of you were here, but I was here. I know that happened. Steve's had a really troubled career path. Trouble. Not figuring out what the right thing for he and Renee is to do. Trouble. He had a really promising career. Anybody know where that was? Early on? When I met him? Arby's? Yeah, Arby's. Pretty big company, right? Anybody know their slogan?
We have the meat.
We have the meat. He got fired from Arby's because Renee makes him leave the meat on the nightstand before he leaves to go to work. Maybe Wendy's would have been a better deal. Where's the beef? Might have another shot. So really what it boils down to is how you manage this gig, right? How do you manage the ER? How do you manage the lodge? I'm thinking, man, it can't be that hard. He messed up at the 11th hour. We know that piece, right? So really it boils down to just two more things. How do you manage drama? Because surely there's no drama at the lodge, right?
Surely.
And then the second is how you manage drunk people. Well, I can't think of anybody more qualified to manage drunk people than Steve. Wow.
True story.
True story.
It's not a Renee roast.
Cheers. Cheers. In closing, I'm just going to say one last thing. Based on his career path, it's a damn good thing the ER position's only good for 1 year because he wouldn't have made it for 2.
Very impressed. I didn't know you had that in you.
You want to have it in you?
Sure, you must have wrote that. Not again.
I did.
All right, so our next speaker is our next year's ER, Mr. Mike Hightower.
Yay!
So don't clap yet. You haven't heard him talk. Don't clap yet. So, thinking about Mike, I'm kind of concerned about the lodge for next year under Mike's leadership. I don't want to be mean, but I'm not sure he has the intelligence to handle what goes on here at the lodge. And here's why. I asked Mike the other day, how is it you've been married for over 30 years? He didn't have a clue. But he did share with me he thought that his wife had an ear fetish. That's what I said, Michelle. Oh God, what the hell's an ear fetish? I've heard of some weird shit. I've been on the internet, I've seen some weird shit. Right? But what is an ear fetish? And Mike said, well, every time I try to put it in her mouth, she turns her head.
Oh my God.
They're just jokes. Damn it. I warned you in the beginning. Alright? Hey Mike, you call it what you want. Alright? Ladies and gentlemen, here's our next ER, Mr. Mike Hightower.
They wanted somebody to at least say something nice to you tonight. So I don't have any dirt on you. So I just want to say congratulations on a job well done. It was the most challenging times anybody could think of with the COVID year. And you stood strong as a leader. You made tough decisions in the most unbelievable, challenging times. You always put the members first. You always had... their well-being was the first thing you ever thought of when you were shutting this lodge down and closing it and opening it back up. Closer. Okay, sorry. But I just want to tell you, when I'm ER, I can only hope to fill your shoes. And that when these challenging times come my way, that I can meet those challenges as well as you have. But anyway, Steve, congratulations again. Let's hold one up high for Steve McKay. Good job.
You're going to be a great ER.
Absolutely.
Put both hands on it. There you
Okay,
go.
I'm gonna not move either. Okay, so I can't really roast my husband because like everybody said, he doesn't ever do anything silly. I keep trying to wait for something. I'm gonna have dirt on him one day. I don't think that's gonna happen. But what a year. This lodge and these people always came first. nastiness and goodness and everything in between. All you thought about were the people, our friends, our family, the community. We still made everything a success because of you. So, Jeff Walker, Mike Hightower, thank you for putting this together. Brian, Bob, thanks for being here. Thanks for Let's raise our glasses to a year that Steve was handed a bunch of lemons. He made some damn good lemonade.
Prepare anything, but I am overwhelmed by the support and what everyone's done here tonight. Food, house committee, take care of things, and everybody that showed up, especially my family here, amazing. Bob and Laura for coming down from Omaha on a whim deal. I really appreciate that. And my wife for being very supportive of me throughout the year, being fantastic. You know, you go through life and you really know who your best friends are. And they're very few. If you understand what I mean. I have a tremendous amount of friends here and most of you I feel like family with, but there's a couple people that really, really mean everything to me. And they would drop anything in the world to help me out. Jeff Walker, Bob Mueller.
For sure.
Bob and I went through a lot with work, and why he's been, I'm not a very good communicator at times. I go a long time.
True story.
True story. I'm not a very good communicator at times. Yeah, so, but this man has always stayed beside me for 31 years and is always there whenever I need him. He would drop him a hat. And just an example, drove all the way to St. Louis for my son's wedding and drove all the way back that night just to be there. Drove down in the whim to come down and see Caleb be born and drove back. You know, it's those kind of things, those people, and this guy dropped a hat. I mean, I don't know what work you've done through the last few weeks to get this ready, but it's unbelievable. And you did a tremendous amount of work, and I really, really appreciate it. You know, this year's had some challenges. There's a lot of things I didn't have to do. There's a lot of things that I did have to do. Decisions at times, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I really wouldn't. And I really had a good time here, and some things that I learned early on, especially with the COVID deal, is that there are people in this lodge, and they've been here for a lot of years, that have set this place up and take care of it. I had no idea until we shut this place down and tried to open it back up. And I've had a phenomenal house committee that anytime I tried to think of something that needed to be done, it was already done. And run this lodge like no other.
Cheers to the house committee. Cheers.
The only thing I could try to do this year was just try to not screw it up. This place has been around for a long time, and there's been some phenomenal people that have taken care of it financially, and we've been strong throughout. We had a rough year financially, but because of the people that came before me in this position, we were able to survive and thrive. So, you know, one thing that's good about being an AR, and Michelle's already been involved for a lot of years and is up here all the time, Mike, but one thing that happened is COVID happened, and Renee already had a phenomenal group of friends here, and then COVID hit, and we did the Gina Lee backyard pool parties and around, and she got a whole new group of friends. And then I'm out mowing the yard one day, and I'm like, where are you going? It's like, I'm going to the lodge. I'm meeting the girls up there for a beer. I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be the other way around. I'm at the lodge all the time. And I had another couple that came in the other night and said, man, it's been a tough year for you. You've had to come up here, 3 or 4 or 5, 6 nights a week and drink. I'm like, yeah. I just had to take one for the team.
True story.
But I love this lodge, and I would be remiss without mentioning who brought me into this lodge, who got me involved. And you know, when I got involved with the Elks Lodge in 1992, when I first joined, involved in something, I got to go to a meeting. So I go to the meetings, and then when you go to the meetings on a regular basis, people come up to you and say, "Hey, you're already at the meeting. Why don't you become an officer?" So then I got in, I went through the chairs, and then I left for a few years and came back. And they said, "Well, you're gonna get back in the officer position again?" Because I came up to the meeting. I said, "Yeah." I said, I'd like to do that again. They said, "You're gonna go right back where you were as leading knight?" I'm like, "No." Out of respect for the people that have gone through these chairs and done the right thing, I'm gonna go through the whole deal again. And the guy that brought me in and showed me the way and has brought me to where I am today is Doug Owen. Thank you, Doug. I guess that's all I really have. Thank you so much for surprising me, kids. And they messed with me because
Tell Jake's story.
we had a birthday party for my grandson this morning, and you know I'm always making sure everybody gets home and things like that. Renee's like, and she set me up too. She's like, "Did Jake make it home to Columbia?" And I'm like, "Well, I haven't texted him yet," so I text him. Yeah, but I'm looking at find my friends, and there's no locations to be found for my children. So I could not find them. And I'm like, this is weird, but I didn't say anything. Caleb was at work today, and then I couldn't find him. And then Jake, he wasn't coming up either. I'm like, man, there's something wrong with my phone. The Wi-Fi's not working. And then they all show up here.
Good job.
Made my night.
Excellent job.
If you haven't met my children, they're absolutely gorgeous, and their wives and significant others, and they're and I really appreciate them being here. What I've lived for my entire life is serving them and making sure they grow up to be good human beings, and they are phenomenal. So, thank you so much. So I look forward to drinking a few drinks with you kiddos and having a good time. And thank you so much, Renee, for being my partner, being my rock, being there for times that I'm frustrated and putting me back on the right path at times, and just being here to support me and putting up with all the crap I come home with. And it's not over, by the way. We got 5 more years as trustee, and I'm sure that's going to even be here. But she's put up with me being here 5, 6 nights a week, 7 nights a week, sometimes being here early in the morning, late at night. Well, the late at night's because you. That reminds me, I'll quit talking so much. Yeah. That 12 months of COVID.
Yeah, that was
Elks year, Elkton, that is freaking phenomenal.
Freaking awesome. Cheers.
That was genius.
That was awesome.
Absolutely. So, again, all of you, Walker, thank you so much for putting this together, and everybody that contributed to this. You're amazing. You're a very, you're are very dedicated and thorough with everything you do. And it was amazing. And I couldn't appreciate it anymore. I really can't. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. Cheers to 2020, 2021. Out cheer. Thank you so much.
Great job. Who the hell would have thought Steve talked longer than Bob? Jesus Christ.
She had no idea.
Damn.
Kept going, nobody would get there.
Talk about how great your kids are. They were great in spite of their parenting. Hey, but no, everyone, this is a tremendous turnout. It's a direct showing of what kind of guy this guy is. I know we've already went through the love yous and I love you and you're a great person, but there's proof in the pudding, right? That's why everyone's here. So we had a rough year. Yeah, absolutely. But you've done a huge part this year and we thank you. So I all love you. I hope you had a great night. Thank you all for coming.